I think storytelling is important because it helps us to remember. I think that stories are like a bridge, like a glue, like a foundation, and that they are critical to allowing a people, a community, a culture to reinvent itself without forgetting its past.
Carry me back to the land of promise. Carry me back.
As part of this journey, we'd like to give a verbal libation to all of the ancestors that are represented. We are honored to give voice to their grace. In the community of Pilsen, at a place called Casa Michoacán, many stories were collected. The first story tells about a supermarket owner. He wanted to get away from using styrofoam cups and plastic spoons. So he worked with a woman in the neighborhood, and together they created a bowl made out of dough. Now what's special about this bowl is that unlike a sugar cone, which gets soggy, this bowl does not get soggy. It can hold up to 3 scoops of ice cream. And when you are finished with your ice cream, you can eat the bowl as well. He is reducing waste, saving money, and helping the community. He's building a better tomorrow.
There is no culture without agriculture.
George Washington Carver, FARMS, is an organization dedicated to providing an opportunity for farmers to distribute their produce throughout the country, fresh to the table of consumers. Reverend Sampson is working for the continuation, promotion, and development of the philosophy to buy black and bring the dollars back. He is the only preacher in Black America with a Department of Agriculture in his church. Through his work with George Washington Carver Farms, Reverend Dr. Sampson has embodied the motto that there is no culture without agriculture.
Culture, agriculture.
Neighbors regularly contribute food scraps to our composting bins. We give the compost to the farmers who sell their fresh fruits and vegetables at our weekly farmers market. The farmers give those who contribute to the composting bins a discount on the food that they purchase from them. In this small but significant way, we are building an enterprising relationship between residents who live in one of Chicago's food deserts, many of whom have ties to the American South, and African-American farmers from Pembroke, Illinois, as well as Arkansas and Louisiana.
Weddings, homegoings, and christenings wouldn't be the same without culture, agriculture. Meetings, dates, and decisions to be made wouldn't be the same without culture, agriculture.
This song was created based on a story collected from God's Gang.
Going green, going green, I'm so glad I'm going green. I feel better, so much better, since I know I'm going green. Wash my clothes and hang them on the line, save the planet and victory is mine, 'cause I'm going green, going green. I'm so glad I'm going green. I feel better, so much better, since I know I'm growing green.
Da-da-doom, da-da-doom, tacky-tacky, da-da-doom, da-da-doom, tacky-tacky.
At the Indo-American Heritage Museum, many stories were collected. One story describes a woman who's from North India a town called Punjab, and how there, every day, she was responsible for cooking dinner for a large family of 20 to 25. And early in the morning, the women would go to the rooftop, and on the rooftop, there was a solar cooker. By dinner time, they would have cooked lentils, rice, and veggies. Also, on this rooftop, had huge drums with glass covers where they would collect water. And by the evening, they would have warm water to use for taking baths. This practice of collecting solar energy helped them to cut down on their utility bills, but also to live together in harmony with nature as a community. There were many struggles when moving to America, to a place like the city of Chicago, and trying to continue these traditions. But despite these challenges, they continued. Some of the traditions that have been continued are carpooling with as many as 10, using cloth bags instead of plastic, using the bruised fruits and vegetables for making soup, filling their homes with beautiful plants, not only for beauty, but also because the plants help to keep things cool, using a clothesline to dry their clothes, or even hanging the clothes by their windows, and reusing and recycling bottles, collecting oil for reuse, passing clothes on through donating them or putting them in collection boxes, passing things on and realizing that they can be used again and again and again, continuing the traditions that they brought with them and living in harmony with nature.
I feel like going on. I feel like going on. Though trials mount on every hand, I feel like going on.
Mrs. Robinson's story was collected from Brock Social Service. And Mrs. Robinson says, well, my tomatoes aren't doing well, but I'm hopeful. I've always had a garden. And before my health went bad, I planted it by myself. When I was growing up, we called it a victory garden. That's what they were called back then. So I've always planted a garden. I talked to Matrice about it and she said she would help me, and she did. And when we worked on planting that garden, I thought about how I like fresh vegetables. I like planting them. And what I really like is to see what the earth gives you back for the seeds you put into it. There's a family in Pilsen, and the mother and father kept thinking that they wanted their children to feel a connection to nature, and that there was a lot that they were missing by raising them in the city. So they decided to bring chickens into their garage, and every morning they collect 3 to 4 fresh eggs. They've learned a lot of things by having the chickens right there in the city. One of them is that the chickens are great because they help keep the rats away. The other is that the children have gained a completely different appreciation for animals. They don't think of them as something that's dirty that should be just kept out in the country, because now these animals are a part of their lives. They're building a better tomorrow.
A better tomorrow. A better tomorrow. A better tomorrow begins today.
Many traditions, many ways of living in harmony with nature. I would say that if you're thinking about taking a story that was collected from the page and trying to bring it to life, that the first step is to think about what are the main points, what is the essence here, and how can I give voice to that I don't necessarily have to have every word the same, but I have to have the heart of what is there.